1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi everyone, welcome to the debut episode of our football podcast.
Let's go.
Very nice. I'm joined by... Hi everyone, and welcome to our debut podcast episode. The title of our podcast is If We Speak, We're in Trouble. This is going to be a football podcast, and this is the home for all good takes, bad takes, controversial takes, and anything that you want to talk about football. So I'm going to introduce some of my co-podcasters here. I've been looking to my left a lot, but I'm going to introduce the guy on my right first. So,
How will you be looking at me?
wait, no, as in I was just talking to him a lot. Yeah, but kind sir, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Okay, my name's Afif, and evidently I'm an Arsenal supporter. I don't know if you can see. Okay, for those who are joining us online or audio.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal supporter, and actually I was a Chelsea supporter as a kid. But
Fun fact.
I think this kind of the hot takes already come out. Yeah, they are
That's
gonna
a
be.
terrible start.
But
All
then I
the knives
realised-
and pitchforks are coming
That's
out.
terrible.
I realised what was the better club in London. So
Fairs. Fairs.
Whatever you say, my man. Whatever you say. I will prove you wrong many times.
we shall see, bro.
And it starts from now. So, before we continue, let me introduce myself.
Nice.
So I am Shohib. Alright. Chelsea fan wearing an absolutely brilliant 1998 FA Cup final Chelsea vintage jersey. Gianfranco Zola, Roberto Di Matteo, absolute legends of the game.
Nah,
Right? Chelsea
Love
fan. And so nice to meet y'all.
Nice. Very nice. And last but not least, I'm Hasif. Some of you may know me as Abang Sim on Instagram. Please follow me on my socials. Very happy to be here with my co-podcasters. We are really excited to bring you guys this episode. Today's episode is our EPL predictions. We are midway through the season, and we're going to try and guess what the top 6 and the bottom 3 is going to look like at the end of the season. This is going to be good. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yes.
since mid-season prediction, right?
Yeah.
Our predictions should be more accurate than the ones you hear at the start.
Yeah.
But we'll see that. We'll see about that. Right?
Yeah.
So the date today is 4th December, just to set the record straight on where our predictions are at this current moment in time.
Yes. That's right.
So no pitchforks, please. Okay, we just know what we know from the 4th of December, 2023.
All right. So to kick things off, we are going to start with some unpopular football opinions. Everybody's going to give one, and let's see how badly we can start this podcast.
I see, eh?
Let's go with Afif first. Afif, would you like to tell us what is your most
Really gonna
unpopular
get
football
into trouble.
opinion?
To be fair, I know that. Yeah. To be fair, my opinion isn't that unpopular. I feel okay.
Alright.
My opinion is that tactics are somewhat overrated.
Tactics overrated?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Kindly enlighten me.
Essentially, how everybody wins the titles or the Champions Leagues and whatnot, right? All the trophies is by essentially just getting good players. Like honestly speaking, like Pep for example, look at all his teams. He has special players in all of his teams, right? And yeah, to a certain extent, the tactics help a bit, but you just have to buy the right players for the right positions and just let them do their thing essentially. I mean, look at De Bruyne. Just put him there and like in midfield and just let him do his thing. Like.
Should have told that to Jose Mourinho 10 years ago. If not, Chelsea will still be flying high today. I mean, fair enough. I get what you mean.
Like
Alright.
yeah, I mean just put special players in their favorable positions and they're gonna get you results.
Okay, I have a counterpoint to that, right? Which is, for example, you take the Man City team that won the Champions League last season, right?
Okay.
Like, what if you take like the next like Singaporean coach, like just the next guy that you see on the street that coaches football, and you put him like as the coach of that Man City team? Like, does that team win the Champions League? I mean, you could argue if they may not.
They may not, yeah, but that's because he might not know what their each of the players' strengths are.
Yes.
Like in relation to the team, right? And
Yeah.
how it would help the team.
So
in
would you
general.
say that thing that you're talking about, that phenomena, right? Does that not be a part of tactics as well? Like knowing to fit the right pieces into the right holes, right?
I feel like that's just man management, no? Like just knowing your players. I mean,
Yeah.
tactics itself, like people usually refer to like the formations they play.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff
mean,
like that.
a
But
4-3-3 and a 4-2-4-3-2-1,
Yeah, it's fluid
4-2-3-1. I mean,
it doesn't really matter.
all the
right?
same, right?
Yeah.
That's fair.
I'm a
That's
bit
fair.
convinced,
That's an okay take.
but maybe we'll see some angry comments. So
Okay, let's see. Let us know what you think about
Basically,
Afif
talent
Sampo.
ID. Talent ID.
Talent ID.
That's fair.
better than tactics.
Yeah,
Nice.
talent ID.
Cool.
What's it called? The mathematical equation. Modern.
Modern. Yes, modern.
Tactics.
Cool.
Not 100% on board, but I'll take some of your opinions on.
Yeah, that's probably not going to be the worst take for tonight. So
Most definitely not.
we're gonna segue really nicely into Shibi's unpopular football opinion. Take it
so
away.
They said that might not be the worst take, and then both of them like stared at me like straight away. So I don't know what they think my take is gonna be. Alright, but it actually feeds a bit into this whole management idea. Okay, so I agree slightly, but I still think tactics are a big part, and I think a big part of management is like improving players, right, which Pep does very well.
Okay.
But I think someone who does it to an even greater extent, right? Super underrated manager, and this is my unpopular opinion, but 100% correct opinion. All right, Super Frankie Lampard
Oh my god.
is an absolutely underrated manager. All right, people meme him, people meme Frank Lampard, right? But they forget, all right, when Frank Lampard first took over Chelsea, first things first, transfer ban. Secondly, our best player for the last 6-7 years single-handedly carried us to a title, Europa League trophy, many cups. Eden Hazard just left the Real Madrid. We literally had nobody. If you looked at that squad, you would think that squad 11th place, 12th place even, right? Mid-table mediocrity. Our best players came out from the championship. Fikayo Tomori, Mason Mount. All right? Frank Lampard brought all of them together,
Okay.
and he brought Chelsea playing absolutely scintillating football and brought us to Champions League and also to a final of a cup. If Frank Lampard, if Chelsea beat Arsenal in that final, right, that FA Cup final, Frank Lampard would be right here, still Chelsea manager, okay, and Chelsea would be flying high. All right, that season was extremely underrated, and Frank Lampard is an underrated manager. All right, it was an impressive season with no budget, no transfers, homegrown players, and he improved every single one of them.
You take this one.
Reece
I'm not taking
James,
I'm not taking
Fikayo
this one.
Tomori, Mason
He
Mount.
improved them.
He definitely improved them. Mason Mount from Derby, Frank Lampard was there, came to Chelsea. Absolute bang of a player. Reece James, best right back in the league when fit because of Super Frankie Lamps. And let's not forget, you meme him about his time at Everton, right? Alex Iwobi, for a period of 3 months, right, was the best midfielder in the league.
No
all right,
way,
the streets
no
will never
way.
forget. All right, that he became his uncle. He became JJ Okocha for 3 months in the league. All right, so Frank Lampard, they memed him, and I think because of that, he might have lost some credibility with the players. But never forget Frank Lampard at Chelsea, the first season. Super Frankie Lamps will go right to the very top. Just to quote his uncle, Harry Redknapp, he'll go right to the very top as a manager. You heard it here first.
Good job. But for real though.
For real though. I wholeheartedly believe in this. No way will Frank Lampard not be at the top of managing.
At the top of management.
100%.
Wait, where's he now? What's he doing now?
He's unemployed, right?
He's unemployed.
So
Maybe
he's
unemployed.
Probably a podcaster like us.
Yeah, it might be. Or commentator.
So-
there are worse things to do than podcast.
So why is that the case? So why is that the case?
So you see, alright. So even the top managers sometimes have down periods, right? Right? Zidane didn't win the Champions League every single season, right?
Almost.
He almost. Okay.
Terrible example.
Essentially did lah.
Even Pep in his first season in City, where was he?
Yeah, that's fair.
Klopp at the start of Liverpool, where was he?
That's fair.
Frank Lampard's debut season with Chelsea is more impressive than Pep Guardiola and Klopp's first seasons at Liverpool and City. I'm just saying, alright?
What was the position they finished in for his first season?
If I'm not wrong, third.
So it's the same as City lah.
Third or fourth.
In their first
but
season.
he had no budget. He had no transfers, and he just brought homegrown players. Okay, people like to say, right, Mason Mount, anyone can finish top 4 with Mason Mount. Anyone can finish top 4 with Reece James. Anyone can finish top 4 with Fikayo Tomori. But back then, nobody knew who they were. Right? Frank Lampard gave them the trust to play. He improved them. And then, only after that season, a few years later, they were like, oh, anyone could have done it. Absolute cap. Right? Frank Lampard has been slandered, and I will not stand for that slander anymore.
Alright.
He's just taken the opportunity to like completely defend his
And
boyhood
you can
hero.
tell he's a Frank Lampard fanboy.
Count the number of times he said Super Frankie Lamps.
Yeah.
That's how much he loves Frank Lampard.
I'm just saying,
That's
none of
not-
you can ever convince me otherwise.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Alright, fair enough.
Thank you,
It was a
thank you for that.
fair
Dave.
opinion,
As in, I don't think it's an unpopular opinion as much as it is like a very, very well thought through opinion. Like you clearly spend a lot of nights thinking about how much Super Frankie Lamps has been unfairly slandered. So like, no, that's fair. That's
Yeah,
fair.
instead of working or doing what I have to do,
Okay.
that's what's been dancing on my mind. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna go last. I don't know what people are gonna think about my take, but so Messi has just won his 8th Ballon d'Or. That's a record, right?
Frank Lampard's number.
Yes, right.
Yes.
So
8 Ballon d'Ors.
my take is that I don't think that people need to put as much emphasis or prestige on winning a Ballon d'Or as we currently do, because I don't think many people realize that the Ballon d'Or is voted by journalists.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, and I think journalists are not the most objective people to
Yeah.
comment on footballing performance.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
like
You know who should they ask?
who?
Podcasters lah.
Oh damn. Nah. Okay,
not you.
probably not podcasters.
Frank
eh.
Lampard win manager. For no reason.
Frank Lampard will win manager of the year as an unemployed manager.
I mean, true. He should lah.
His only accolades will be man management.
Nah.
Vibes.
But yeah. So that's my take. As in, like, I'm not disrespecting like Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi and whatever it is that they've achieved. But like, I just think that it's important for people to know how the voting process happens and that this is how the Ballon d'Or is decided. And I think there have been many times over maybe the past decade, past 20 years, like you have seen questionable Ballon d'Or recipients
Results.
in that sense, right? Like it's not reflective of the performance over the span of a year.
Yeah.
So that's just my take. I'm not saying that Messi's not a good player or doesn't deserve 8 Ballon d'Ors. I think
You really want an
Let's-
unpopular opinion? You should have said Messi's.
yeah, that's true. So but yeah, that's just my take about
Messi's a fraud.
oh goodness me. But yeah, that's how I feel about Ballon d'Ors. Yeah.
Okay.
Ballon
Yeah.
d'Ors.
So just a little bit more about us, and I think we're probably going to be doing this every episode, so we'll be dropping more and more controversial hot takes for you guys. So yeah,
Yeah.
Correct takes lah. In the case of Frank Lampard, underrated. He's going right to the very top.
Or shall we say alternative takes?
alternative takes. Thank you, Shibi. Thank
Alright.
you for that. And we're back. So we are gonna get right into the meat of this podcast. We are each gonna reveal our top 6 predictions first. Afif, would you like to do the honors of the first ever reveal?
Alright.
If you remember, this one mid-season, so it must be accurate.
It's as accurate as it will be.
I hope I don't see any biases considering these two people are wearing retro Arsenal
As you
jerseys.
said, right, it must be accurate to the middle of the season right now. And who's on top? Let's just say it's gonna be these 6.
Alright. Oh, so Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Spurs, Newcastle, and Villa.
Okay,
right?
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
that's pretty decent.
Arsenal, City, Liverpool. They're gonna be challenging for the title.
So 3 challenges for the
3
title.
challenges
How
for the
close do you
title.
think it'll be?
I think it'll be really close this season. Probably about the same as last season between Arsenal and City.
Okay.
Liverpool will be right up there as well.
Okay.
I think they've improved quite a bit throughout the course of the season.
I agree.
And Spurs, I put them 4th because honestly, at the start of the season, I thought they were gonna be title contenders.
At the start, as in before the start, or like during?
No, I think
during
probably the
after-
first
after
like
the first
yeah.
game.
after the first few games lah.
After the first few games,
When we
yeah.
got Angeball, right?
They were flying, man.
They were actually- yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
they were doing really well. But because of their injuries and their suspensions, they dropped up a little bit. And it kind of exposed their lack of rotations. in
Very
their squad.
thin squad lah.
Yeah, they're very thin squad.
Yeah.
And for the positions that they play in their formation, they have very specialized players, right? For example, Van der Ven.
Yeah.
Who else has that?
Rapid, man.
Who else has his recovery pace, man?
Fikayo Tomori.
Saliba.
He's not.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm dead serious.
I mean,
Frank Lampard would
fair
have
enough.
improved. I'll stop. I'll stop.
Yeah, but because of their injuries and their suspensions, I think their squad rotation has been kind of exposed a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
And
they
I
just
don't
don't have the
think-
depth lah.
Yeah, that depth it's not gonna last them throughout the whole season in terms of contending for the title. So, in 5th place we have Newcastle. Honestly, overall they're a solid team. Honestly, one of the most hardworking teams I've seen in the Premier League so far. They've caused a problem for all the top 6 teams.
Generally speaking, they've
It's St.
always
James.
performed to a certain level. Right?
That's
Pretty
true though.
consistent, right?
Yeah, they're pretty consistent.
Big fan of
And-
Isaac, man.
Shout out Isak.
Same.
Banger of a player.
Swedish meatballs.
6 is
Right.
Villa. They've been doing pretty well in this start of the season.
That's fair.
Unai Emery ball,
Yeah, honestly,
Didn't do that at Arsenal, but never mind.
I don't know what got into them. Like what got into Unai Emery also.
He just needs to get into the Europa League. That's why he wants to.
That's the
there's only
pinnacle of his
one
career.
thing wants
He
to
doesn't
do.
actually care about the
That's
Champions
his
League.
only goal.
He's trying his best not to be in the
He would
Champions
never
League.
win the World Cup. He
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
care
true.
about the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
World Cup.
As
honestly,
in, no, like, as in, like in his entire managerial career, right?
Yeah.
Like if he wins 10 Europa Leagues, right, he will like rest
Call
at
it
the end.
quits,
Yeah, like he'll be
Calls
like,
it the goat,
yeah, he would be the
so
goat.
on his
He actually-
tombstone, right,
yeah.
he will just put the number of
Yeah.
Europa Leagues. Not his name, just
Here
you know,
lies
just the number
Unai
of Europa
Emery,
Leagues.
10 Europa
And
Leagues.
for
Then
making
after that,
Alba
below
and
that,
Laka and the
good
Chaka
evening,
brothers. Alright, so
Wait, I just want to ask you, why do you think Arsenal over City?
why Arsenal over City?
Yeah.
Okay, biasness aside,
Biasness aside.
I'm trying my
biasness
best here. But biasness aside, I think this season Arsenal's defense has been like on top, like tip top.
Gabriel,
Yeah,
Saliba.
Gabriel Saliba, Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu is such a
If only we had
revelation,
Timber.
right?
He has. Yeah, I think he's really improved this season.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, do you all still play? I know Zinchenko is a bit exposed defensively sometimes.
Yep, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, I mean he's playing quite regularly now.
Yeah.
But I think if once February comes in,
Mhm.
then once Timber is back from injury, then it will only get better.
Best
from there.
defense in the league.
Honestly, yes.
But what about the keeper though?
You look at the stats though.
Oh,
What about
Expected
that's a
goals
good
What
point.
about the keeper?
We do have to talk about
Raya's
the keeper.
better than
though.
Ramsdale.
Maybe you should have said that.
Okay, so what tactics?
No,
You said the Raya Ramsdale thing, bro.
Did you watch the game against? What was the game? It was against the one that he made like 2 howlers. He threw to the
Oh,
opposition.
Ramsdale. But do you
The
think
Brentford game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Brentford.
The Brentford
was
game.
that a
game.
lack
Yeah.
of confidence from being dropped, even though he was already good for Arsenal?
It could be a consequence,
Mhm.
but at the same time, it kind of shows your mental fragility also, right?
That's true. That's true.
How can you handle the pressure of contending for the
So
title
you are
if you can't
Raya
even fight for
over
the first
Ramsdale?
place? Yeah. Based on what I've seen so far, I think shot stopping is pretty good. His what is underrated is his handling in the air.
Mm.
He catches a lot of air balls. and
I feel like
crosses.
this is a very Arsenal problem, you know, like keepers of similar quality, always ever since Jens Lehmann, you know, Almunia, Szczesny,
Wow, not bad. You know your Arsenal, yeah.
Fabianski.
Yeah, but they were all quite kind of mid though.
Szczesny became like one of the best keepers in the world for a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fabianski was one of the best keepers in the league for West Ham.
Yeah, but it's
Right, it's the Arsenal
it's a
syndrome.
very small period, like a very small period over a longer time span that you're comparing.
Then you had Petr Cech, it was so bad for Arsenal. Right? I mean,
The nerve of you to bring up Petr Cech. The nerve.
then
PTSD.
The
Bernd
audacity.
Leno, who was a good keeper, but then replaced by Ramsey. I feel like every keeper is like, you've never had the keeper for Arsenal ever since Jens Lehmann.
Yeah, kind of true.
Right? Everyone's a flappy.
It has been a-
you know.
But to be honest, Ryan Ramsdale, they aren't terrible keepers.
They aren't.
Like Ramsdale isn't a bad keeper.
I don't
honestly.
think so as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was
It's
just thinking
just
like,
a slight difference in quality that will make a difference in the title run. That's what I think would propel us forward. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
very nice.
Thank you, Afi, for sharing your top 6.
Mm-hmm.
We are gonna segue over to Shibi.
Okay.
Yeah, please go ahead. Reveal
Alright,
your top
so
6.
as in, no longer, this is a not unpopular opinion section. I gave I would say, a very well reasoned and thought out top 6.
Please.
Alright, so just let me show to the camera first. Alright, and let me show it to my fellow podcasters, because this one we've never told each other yet.
Alright, so
Alright, so first I have Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Newcastle, Aston Villa, and Spurs.
Nice.
okay,
Alright, so same teams.
same teams.
Alright, so I feel like these 6 teams, alright, they have shown maybe a level above, okay, all the other teams, right? Brighton a bit too inconsistent, I would say. Alright, Chelsea is the epitome of inconsistent. Alright, United.
Why are you talking about Chelsea, bro? You guys are in 10th.
Right,
Man.
we beat Brighton, alright. And we played well
Against
against
that
City.
level right now.
No,
Never-
that's fair,
and
that's
we
fair.
drew against Liverpool. So let's stop, right?
Okay,
if
cool.
not, I'll get in trouble.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep going.
So beyond maybe those and United grinding results, but honestly, if you play that woefully, I don't see in a Premier League like this. I don't see them in the top 6.
Yeah, it's not
Right?
sustainable.
Unless something happens. I mean, unless all of them have a Harry Maguire revival.
That's true.
But that's a topic for another day. All right. So let's go from the bottom up. Spurs looked good at the start, but yeah, like Afif said, exposed due to their injuries. Right? Van der Ven, wow, absolutely amazing player. Rolls Royce of a defender. Right? Fantastic. But he's paired up with someone who is a bit temperamental, to say the least. Alright, and the fact of the matter is I don't trust him when Van der Ven is not there. Right? Although Eric Dyer, I think, has been trying his best. Let's just put it.
I
Trying
think
his best.
He's really been trying his best.
Eric Dyer is just the stand-in.
Yeah, as in he...
Eric Dyer is to
honestly,
Spurs what Rob Holding was to Arsenal.
He's trying his best. Right?
Nah, I think he's a little bit
Yeah,
better
he's
than
really just
Holding,
trying his
He
right?
best.
hangs around.
Alright, Madison is absolutely amazing, but I feel like they would need a perfect season for their... once they are back from injury, straight away need to hit the ground running for them to get top 4. Okay, if not, I still see them teetering around 6. Alright? In 5th place, I got Aston Villa. I just feel like they've played well in their games. Alright, and I'm a big believer of how good of a team is, right? The best way to predict is to see their goal defense as well. And I think Aston Villa has a very, very good goal defense. It just shows their superiority in the league against the other teams.
Yeah.
You know? So Aston Villa actually has been looking good as well. Right? So I'm a big fan. And I think this season, if you get 5th in the Premier League, you actually go to the Champions League. So maybe Emery might want to, maybe concede a few extra goals here and there. Right? But I
to
feel,
get
like
to the Europa League.
I feel like they have a very, very solid team,
They do.
Not really big holes in the team. And I just feel like Emery has really got them to play super duper well.
Leon
Right.
Bailey is on fire.
Right?
Ollie
Yeah.
Watkins.
Ollie Watkins,
Moussa Diaby.
and Moussa Diaby is such a great player.
Brilliant.
I also love their defense, right? Konza, right?
Yeah.
Looks absolutely amazing,
Oh, the keeper.
right?
Actually, has Pau Torres been playing?
I think he has
Yeah,
been
he
on
has,
and
yes.
off, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. The keeper,
Arsenal legend.
I would want him at Chelsea right now. Let's be real.
That's
Huh?
I think Emi is a bit overrated.
Let's save this discussion for another day.
that's yeah.
Alright, number 4, I got Newcastle. Okay, at first, I had Newcastle in 6. Okay, but as of this moment, I have a feeling that they'll be out of the Champions League. And I think once they're out of the Champions League, they will have more rest. And I think that's what's stopping them from, really getting the run of results that are more consistent. Right? Because I think they've looked leggy, and that's when they dropped points. Okay, but when they are looking fresh, right, I think they will get 4th. I think it'll be quite a comfortable 4th as well. They will get a run of results. All right? Isak will be one of the best players this season. Joe Linton, amazing player. I don't know how he turned it around. Right? One of the best midfielders in the league. Right? And just
You've
an
seen him,
all-round great.
every mid,
Usually any
every
name that
mid
you say
midfielder.
ends up being one of the best midfielders in the
Okay.
league.
I think this is my most controversial take today. City in third.
That's a
Right? But I
controversial
feel like, honestly, I feel like it will be a 3-man race. And I feel like City might just be a bit tired this season.
Maybe.
It takes a big
toll.
amount of mental energy to win a treble.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I feel like the players are a bit tired out. Honestly, I'm a super big fan of players like Bernardo Silva and,
Jeremy
I
Doku?
think, sorry?
Jeremy Doku?
Jeremy Doku adds a new dimension, but I don't think you can count on him to bring City up to be the champion this season.
Okay.
I think you can count on him to win games but not championships. Alright.
Nice.
Players
Defenses
like-
with new titles, bro.
Players like
Put
Jack
that in the
Grealish and Bernardo Silva, right? Last season they were absolutely fantastic, amazing. I feel like this season they have just dropped a little bit, and that is showing in the way City plays. I feel everyone has dropped just a couple of points below, and because of how good Arsenal and Liverpool are and how hungry they are, I feel like City will get a third, a very quiet season. They'll probably win one of the domestic cups, but I think they'll have a very, very quiet season this season. I think Haaland will score goals, but I don't think he will contribute to the play.
Okay.
Right. Arsenal second. I just don't think they have what it takes to win the league.
Okay.
I'm just being honest.
What it
Right.
takes?
They don't. I just feel like, okay, they have a very, very solid defense. I agree. Right. Their midfield, I've seen better. I think Liverpool's midfield is what takes them over Arsenal. I think the addition of Szoboszlai, right, Liverpool's main weakness last season was their midfield. So with Szoboszlai, right? And by letting go of Henderson and getting Endo in as depth, right? I think like their midfield has really been, strengthened to a required level for them to, I think, really
Get over the line.
get over the line. Yeah, right. They are grinding out games, right? They are also having comfortable wins. You can count on Mo Salah, even though he's the worst player on the pitch, to score 2 goals a game, especially when he's the worst player on the pitch, right?
It'll be 2 penalties.
Right. Darwin Núñez is coming good. And the fact of the matter is, Alisson is the best keeper in the league. I think by a pretty long shot.
Yeah.
He actually, yeah.
And
I
that
think we agree,
could be the main difference. Arsenal, I don't know. I just don't know where they will get their goals. I feel like I'm really not sure. I could be wrong.
Martin Odegaard got something to say, bro.
I don't know. I feel like Martin Odegaard played better last season.
He's playing a different role this season.
Okay.
He's dropping deeper.
Maybe I just don't have the eyes for it. But it pains me to say it. I hate Liverpool. I'm not a big fan of Liverpool fans, even though all my friends are Liverpool fans. But I just feel like Liverpool will have it this season. I just got a feeling.
They don't. Okay lah. It's been helped by Trent moving into midfield as well.
Oh, Trent.
Like honestly, he's
So
been doing really
clutch.
well there.
Right. But that could be recency bias. But
Right. That's
Trent has an absolute wand of a foot. Of a right foot.
agreed.
Right.
Definitely.
I think if you want to talk about trend, right, you have it's the discussion about trend players like Zinni as well, right? Like they're fullbacks, right? If you ask somebody what's their position, fullback, right? But you talk about their offensive contributions a lot more than defensive, so it's like risk to reward, right? Is
that's
he
true.
worth the risk, right?
To be fair, he played midfield yesterday. Joe
did-
Gomez
he
was
did,
playing
yeah.
at back, right?
That was only towards the end of the game.
Right.
Yeah. So like I think when Liverpool went behind, and then Klopp needed to realize he needed to make some changes, and then that's where
But that's when his offensive contributions outweigh his defensive.
So like
abilities.
there's an argument to be made, like should Klopp just forget about him having
Yeah.
defensive responsibilities, just put him in midfield, stick him next to like somebody hardworking, maybe Endo or
Just
something.
put him at Cameron.
Honestly, right, I think like this attacking, the change to make fullbacks more attacking, right, could be because fullbacks maybe sometimes they are a bit peripheral to games, so that you can afford for them to be. Because I think as a midfielder, right, it will be even more important for them to be sound defensively, or at least have the ability to control the space and the area around them, because the game always passes through them, right? So I think like maybe you could have players on the wide, especially if you're not a very, it's not always often on the wings, right? Like let's say the tactics are not always on the wings, right? It could be a way to put players on the periphery to be like Trent a bit of a passenger sometimes, but can contribute. Zinchenko, Trent. Honestly, these players, maybe there's a reason why they are putting them at right back or left back. Some tactics.
Perhaps.
Tactics,
Yeah.
Overrated.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Shibi. I think that was a pretty interesting take. I'm gonna go ahead and show my predictions for top 6. I don't think this is overly controversial. So we're gonna read off the list. It is Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Villa, Spurs, and United in 6. So
Yeah.
I'm the only one with United in the top 6.
No
so
Newcastle.
faith.
Eh?
no
United.
Newcastle, and I thought about this a lot, and I have a very good reason for it, right? So I'm gonna go top to bottom as to how I decided who finished where. So Arsenal fell short last season. I think we fell off somewhere around like the last 8 games, right? And I feel like the difference this time around is you have an Arsenal side that was wounded, but also at the same time very determined to kind of earn something for themselves, right? It's
Right,
a very
the
young.
wrongs from last season.
Correct, right the wrongs, and also like put a title to their name, because it's in like there's no point playing good football unless you have an accolade to back it up, right?
Yeah.
And there's no better accolade than winning the Premier League. So
That's
I think
true,
Arteta
that's true.
reinforced sufficiently in the summer. I think it's a better squad, even though we did lose like Granit Xhaka and things like that. Comparatively,
Better squad? Who would you say improved the squad for Arsenal? Other than the keeper, I accept. I think Raya could be a bit better than Ramsdale. I'm not 100% convinced.
That's fair.
Right, but what about the other players?
Timber?
Because I'm a very Chelsea fan.
Mm.
I have some takes about Kai Havertz, so I would like to hear the Arsenal's perspective.
Okay, so I will go ahead and say that Declan Rice definitely is worth.
Banger of a player.
Yeah, I
Worth
think
every penny.
he has been amazing for us this season.
Chelsea youth product. I'm just
even-
saying Frank Lampard.
Even disregarding
So
maybe
is
for
Eddie
example,
Nketiah, bro. Come on.
that's true. So even disregarding like Timber, for example, because he's not participated in the season, right? So Declan Rice has improved the squad. I'd say that Kai Havertz, even though he hasn't necessarily hit the ground running, I think he does offer the Arsenal attack like a different dimension. So Arsenal are not so like one-dimensional in the way that they go about their offense, and he adds a bit more, let's say, physical presence and a bit of link-up play.
Link-up play, yeah. Physical presence. I mean, he can score a header or two, but we'll see. The
We'll
jury's
see.
still out on Kai Havertz, right?
Yeah, it
I mean,
is,
the
it is,
jury
it
was
is.
already out for Chelsea, Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Actually, if anything, the most that he's contributed to our play so far has been his physical presence in terms of winning aerial duels or battles in general.
Yeah, he's tall. Although he's super lanky.
His defensive work rate is pretty high also.
He's the next
next
left
Mesut
back,
Ozil.
right?
In general, I think if you play in an Arteta squad, I think you need to have like decent defensive work rate. I don't think
Yeah.
you can kind of
Definitely.
walk around like Mesut Ozil used to. But let's not get into that. And I think also one player that's really not talking about Bukayo Saka. Everybody knows about Saka, right? I think that Trossard has really kind of blossomed in his second season with Arsenal. Like whether it's like a confidence thing or chemistry thing with the rest of the players, like I think we are seeing the best of him, and he's contributing even more now for Arsenal. In comparison, I feel like City as a squad are not as strong as what they were last season. Of course, they have missed Kevin De Bruyne for the entirety of so far whatever has happened, right?
Agreed.
A big miss. He's out till maybe at least January. They lost players like Gundogan, who were like very essential to the way that they play. They lost
Super
Riyad
clutch player. Right?
very clutch player. I
Yeah.
think towards the end of his City career was very amazing for them.
Yeah.
And they also lost Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah,
Right.
he adds a. He's a different player to Jeremy Doku, right? But
Yes.
you'll get goals with Mahrez, right?
Yeah.
But when City plays like not so good, you can kind of count on a Mahrez goal for the 1-0 win and things like that. Right?
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
Mahrez is also one of those clutch players.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. That's why I also did choose City. That's a good point you brought up.
Yeah, so the long story short of this, I feel like Arsenal have the ingredients this season, a bit more practicality with the way they go about their games to supplement the free-flowing, exciting, very beautiful football that we play to pip City. So that's why Arsenal followed by City, right? Then in third place, I've got Liverpool and fourth Villa, right? So what I will say about these two teams is I think they've been I think Liverpool from last season to this season, like what you were saying, right? They've kind of come into, they kind of kicked into gear,
Yeah.
right? I think they're clicking a little bit better, and the reinforcements have done them well.
Great transfers from Liverpool, I must say.
Yeah.
Pains me to
So,
say.
yeah, and I think again, like that has been mentioned, I think Villa are playing very good football. They're on a good run. They've been managing okay. Injury-wise, I don't think they've had too many serious injuries, right? So that's why Villa in fourth. So the last two positions is Spurs, United. I don't have Newcastle, and there's a very specific reason, which is the stat that I'm going to bring up is I'm going to list down all of the players that Newcastle have out injured, and I'll tell you how long they're out for, right? So I think there's a total of about 10 players that Newcastle have out.
Yeah.
Maybe something like 8 of whom are, the players that make the first 11 as well as the reserves, the
No wonder
substitutes.
Trippier was tripping that day. Wanting to fight with
I
the fans,
I saw that video. So, so Sandro Tonali out for the rest of the season. Betting scandal, right?
Yeah.
You know,
The Italians,
we don't have to go into
It's
it.
just an Italian thing.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Jacob Murphy, not necessarily a starter, out till at least the end of January. Dan Burn is out till next year. Harvey
Banger of a
Barnes,
defender,
he
Dan
is
Burn.
actually a really
Yeah.
good defender. He kept Mbappe in his pocket.
Lockdown,
right?
bro.
Mbappe is still in his pocket, I
Yeah,
think.
man. Mbappe never recovered.
No, he's not been the same player. That's why Jude Bellingham is going to win the next Ballon d'Or. But then
Jude
again, the Ballon
Bellingham.
d'Or is a scam. Never mind. Harvey Barnes is out at least till January. Callum Wilson is out at least until January. Sean Longstaff, Sven Botman, Joe Willock, Javier Manquillo, and Matt Target are all also out.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's crazy, man.
That's
Longstaff
actually-
has been pretty phenomenal recently.
So you could say that they have a first 11 that's out injured.
and a pretty good one is that, right? Sven Botman.
Yeah, no,
it's
these are
pretty
good.
good.
These
Yeah,
are
these are
important
pretty
players.
crucial players
Correct,
for
correct,
them.
correct.
Some of them
That's
are
true.
actual starters.
Yeah.
Man, this guy did his research. Maybe we are the ones a bit.
I did. I spent 5 minutes on this, but yeah.
5
So
minutes
I've 5 minutes was all it takes. Yeah. So I
Alright.
feel as though Newcastle with a full squad would have made that last 6 spot, but the injuries that they have is too. is taking away too much of their ability to challenge for the top 6 at least. Another team that has had terrible luck with injuries is Spurs.
Yeah.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
players the Spurs have out are about 6 of them are like their starters, right? So Ivan Perisic ACL out for the season.
That's it.
Rodrigo Bentancur just got injured again, so he's out till next year.
Wow.
Van der Ven is out till next year. James Maddison is out till next year. Ryan Sessegnon is out till next year. Manos Solomon is out till next year. And Richarlison only just came back over the weekend. Yeah. And Yves Bissouma also just got assimilated back into the squad. So they've still got quite a few important players
Yeah,
out.
I
And
feel like you're right. And
Yeah.
the injuries are crucial injuries.
It's too much for them.
I think
James Maddison and Van de Ven.
That's about it,
They're
right?
best players.
yeah,
essentially.
pre-injury crisis and
Yeah,
post-injury
and Son,
crisis Spurs are two very different
Different teams,
Yeah,
right?
different teams. So I think I'd have both Spurs and Newcastle a lot higher if not for their current situations. And they're going into December, which is best known for the fixture congestion. Without the depth, it is very difficult for players to continue putting up the same level of performance week in, week out, midweek in, midweek out.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So for some reason, by some miracle, United is in the top 6. I think they are in a mess right now.
So just purely by elimination.
Yes,
United
because
in top
I don't
six.
think West Ham make top 6. I don't think
Brighton.
Brighton make top 6. Yeah, so
Chelsea?
I think.
Nowhere near, bro.
And now we're gonna be
Hey, you heard it here first. I put Spurs 6, right? But Chelsea will be 7th.
For real,
You heard
bro.
it here first. Nicholas Jackson. Okay, maybe not Nicholas Jackson.
That's-
Let
that's
me
literally
be real
the
here, let me be
worst
real.
player to bring up
Raheem
right now.
Sterling, PFA Player of the Year.
that you should have gone with that as your hot take. You should have gone
That's
with
not a
that.
hot take, bro. That's just facts. That's just factos.
Very nice, very nice.
Nah, United and Brighton are outside of my top 6 for me. Like just right outside.
Just right
They're
outside.
gonna be fighting with Villa
Honorable
for that.
mentions, United and Brighton.
Honorable mentions.
That's fair.
Honorable mention, Chelsea, Raheem Sterling. Raheem the Dream. Just before he carries the
Raheem the Dream.
No way.
Euros for England next year.
choose
to carry the Euros
for Liverpool?
Alright.
And we're back for the final segment. We are going to reveal all at once our bottom 3 predictions.
Bottom 3 predictions.
Ready?
I
Bottom
might
three,
have
let's go.
SNT
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
No,
but-
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Just pretend you didn't see it. And ready, 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Is it the right way? Yeah, it is.
And let's show each other because we.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay. Oh.
Oh,
So the only
interesting.
one
Oh, so
difference?
yeah, no, it's just me. I'm the only one that's
Yeah,
different.
I thought we would all have the same one. So this one,
Okay.
maybe we can just let's talk about it.
Okay, cool. So
Okay.
the only wait.
So for those listening at home, right? Me and Mr. Afif right here.
Yeah, with the same
We
3
talked
teams.
about the promoted teams. We think all 3 promoted
Yeah,
teams
they're
will
gonna
get
go right
relegated.
back down, man.
Straight
yeah,
down.
It
Down
just
to
feels like
championship.
they'll go. I mean, even though Burnley just won like 5-1, right? I mean, they beat another championship team basically,
Yeah.
Sheffield United, and they haven't shown really much against all the other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the one that looks the best has been Luton, kind of. Maybe just because of their home ground, they are a bit more plucky there.
Okay.
Some teams can maybe underestimate them, but generally speaking, the promoted teams are.
Burnley
Really
beat Sheffield United 5-0, bro.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Sheffield United.
It's Sheffield
I
United.
expect them to go down.
They're actually the worst team in the league.
Yeah. I really think the promoted teams. Usually we have a promoted team that kind of jumps out of the
Yeah.
page, right?
Stands out,
Yeah.
does a bit
Right.
better.
And
Yeah.
honestly, most of the time, at least one, but even 2, even all 3. Like last season, all 3 teams stayed up. But this season, it just seems like every single promoted team is like pretty meh.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm.
Like
They
even
really
in the
low bar.
games that they play, you know, some teams you feel like okay, they are playing well, so maybe they can still do something about it. Right? But I think it will take a miracle. Even I'll let Sif talk about it, but even with Everton's points deduction,
So what's your ranking for the promoted teams?
I think it'll
Oh, it
be
doesn't matter.
Luton, Burnley, and
Actually,
Sheffield.
it
But
really
in
does
all
not matter.
honesty,
Yeah,
in all
it doesn't
honesty,
matter.
like,
But I think Burnley will be above Luton.
I think Luton will be above Burnley.
Okay, we'll see it then.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I think that Everton will still go down because I
Wait,
don't.
so what's your bottom 3?
So my bottom 3 is Everton 17th, Sheffield United, and Burnley bottom. Yeah, so I've got Burnley
18th,
bottom.
18, 19, 20.
Sorry, yeah,
18,
18, 18, 19, 20. I just don't feel like Everton have enough quality to overturn a 10-point gap. And I'd be very happy to be proven wrong if they do, but 10 points is a lot. If you're in a relegation battle, I think 10 points is
I
a bit too
agree.
much.
I 100% agree. But
Yes.
I think the fact is not that whether Everton has enough.
Yeah.
It's just like the 3 promoted teams don't have enough.
Yeah, they're just not of that standard.
Like, okay, I think, as in, I mean, Everton has been a mid-table team, I think, this season. They have been a bit better than, a lot better than last season. And it pains me to see a lot better than when they were under Frank Lampard. But moving on, right, I think, I just don't know. I feel like, Sean Dyche, right? Sean Dyche.
Yes.
Right?
Dyche.
Sean Dyche, he will just use the deduction to galvanize the team. Like,
Okay.
this is us against the world. They are trying to screw us. So this, I feel like of
Sean
all
Dyche,
seasons,
let's go.
of all seasons to get a 10 points deduction, this could be the
Shibi
season.
Dyche.
This could be the season of all seasons. I mean, it's never a good time, but I think this is the best time because the 3 promoted teams honestly look pretty dreadful.
They do. Yeah. No, that I do agree with. Like 100%, they do look very, very dreadful, and it's and if not for the 10-point deduction, I think definitely Luton down there with the other
Yeah.
2. Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough. We'll see who gets right and who gets wrong.
Yeah.
But so stay tuned. At the end of the season, we'll
revisit.
We'll revisit. We'll come up with a point system. Right. The winner will get a good prize. The losers will definitely have to do a forfeit.
Very nice. Yeah. So let's see who gets closest at the end of
To
the
be
season.
honest, I'm kind of sad that Burnley isn't doing as well as I thought.
Yeah,
they
big
would.
Vincent Kompany fan.
Yeah, honestly, his tactics in Championship work pretty well, but
But
he
as
just
you
doesn't
said, right,
have
tactics
in
overrated,
the
bro.
Championship. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, exactly. They don't have the players to match up to the players in the Premier
That's
League.
fair. That's fair.
Okay,
It's
okay.
just that's what it is.
I wouldn't die on that hill. Okay, but I'll let you speak. Right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll let you get yourself into trouble.
Very nice. Very nice. And I think with that, we have come to the end of our first ever episode for our podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Thank you, Afif. Thank you, Shibi, for being such active contributors.
And thank you to Mr. Abang Sip right here for
Very
being
nice.
the
Mr.
host
Abang
of
Sip.
our first ever podcast.
Let's go.
So before we end, right, we just like you guys, follow our socials, right? So our socials will be linked in the description.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So YouTube description, all right. Spotify. You just need to search.
Who's Spotify?
Huh?
Who's Spotify?
All of our Spotifys.
I mean, just need to search. If we speak, we're in trouble. All right. So our socials are If We Speak Pod. Right. There will be our Instagram. Drop us an email at ifwespeak2023@gmail.com as well if you
Very
have any
nice.
questions. All right. We will be happy to answer them on air.
Any possible topics that you would like to see on this channel as well?
Yeah, you can email us, you can type it in the comment section, or you can just DM us on Instagram. I mean, our DMs are open to everybody. Purely for professional reasons, of course.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
where
sure.
we end the podcast. Thank you guys so much.
So
cheers.
thank you so much, and cheers
See you
to
in the
that.
next one.
All right. Stay in trouble, kids.